Mtash was able to get early access to Wuthering Waves on a private server. He was able to try all the characters. Now, off rip, I have seen some discussion. Is this good for the game? Is this not for the game? I don't think this is a bad thing. It's inevitable with games like this. I mean, you know, Genshin Impact has people who get access to early servers all the time. They put out guides almost as soon as possible, or like a day or two later. You know, Star Rail. I mean, these things happen. It is what it is. Let's just see what the homie has to say. I got nothing but love for Mtash. Let's go.
All footage in this is CB2 and old gameplay footage. Things may change for the launch. Gamers, after playing with every single character in Wuthering Waves, I wanted to give you my quick thoughts on each of them. I'm not going to be going into the numbers and if they'll be optimal DPS. I want to go on the feel and what I think about them. There are multiple things even in this build that I know will change. There's placeholder things still in their passives as well as their dupes or copies. I want to go off the base value.
Off rip, I don't care about dupes. I don't think that they will have as much of an impact as the way they do in Genshin Impact. I'm not going to be pulling for a dupe. I'm not going to be C6ing a character, E6ing a character. I'm not going to that. I believe in the Step Rule video, correct me if I'm wrong, I believe they said it was E4 was where everyone gets like a 20% attack increase, so that's a massive increase. I don't care for them. It's not happening. I'm just sidebar. So to me, that is the least important piece of information I can get from any videos in general, because obviously people want to know what they are, but I really don't think you need them.
Value, not with all of their extra copies. Just give you an idea of what to expect when you launch Wuthering Waves on the 22nd. Let's get started. Karo is the person I'm going to be going for when the game launches. I very much like the kit. I just like the slicing, the dicing, the charged attack potential, and I like the feel of the E ability. It reminds me a little bit of like an Electro D-Luke, who I've always enjoyed playing that type of character. It's flashy, it's slashy, and I just like Sephiroth from Final Fantasy VII, so I want this character. I also think that Karo will pair very nicely, exceptionally good with Yinlin, who's
this homie right here.
I mean, smoking hot. Smoking hot. Has an amazing passive. Again, we don't know if these things will change, but when she does her outro skill, it boosts electro damage, will boost the liberation damage as well. Absolutely insane kind of electro support unit. So those are the two first units that I'm going to go for as my...
They have amazing synergy together. You probably throw him in there, get a mono team going, and I'm excited. I'm excited. So yeah, I knew off rip, I know you, Danjin, and Yinlin's going to get really good reviews. I actually feel like I'm really not going to enjoy Jiyan when he comes out in his gameplay, but we'll see.
Kind of first free, I think there's a selector of some sort. Like, I think you can pull on a specific banner and get the character you want.
Yes,
I don't know exactly how it's going to work.
By the way, re-rolling is
useless. I want Karo, and I also want her.
Yep.
That's it. That's all I want to say. Let's move on. Danjin. Holy cow, what a great unit. I'm pretty sure this is going to be one of the better 4-star DPS game characters in the game.
She was too powerful. I love her, and she's going to be my main, and I'm going to try to solo the whole game with her because I genuinely adore Danjin. They will be nerfing her. There's just no way that they're going to allow this 4-star unit to outshine every other 5-star. And if they don't nerf her, I will be very happy. But I'm pretty sure they're going to nerf her.
Maybe one of the best characters
so take this with
in
a
the
grain
game,
of salt.
period.
I really don't think it's going to go
This
that
is a bit of a berserker character, okay?
Yeah.
So I've been testing around with Danjin. You can use your E ability, and it'll consume your HP.
Yep.
Right? But
E's
you do so much damage. Has an ability to mark opponents and put a damage multiplier on them. Danjin is kind of cracked, but can also consume energy to restore HP. Danjin may be a unit that can just solo content. Like, literally, if you go to, like, the Abyss or whatever you want to call it, you have one team, and then the other side is Danjin just slamming and jamming. Because if you start looking at the passives and what's available, has a ton of potential. If you do end up getting copies, there's an attack boost while you're on field attacking that you can just stack up. And I see a lot of potential in this character, like a ton of potential. So I'm probably going to build this unit. It's also a Havoc unit. I don't know fully what the elements are going to mean and what they're going to do. Like, is Havoc good against most elements, so it's more valuable? I don't know yet.
I don't know what the elements are going to affect. I could be wrong. I feel like I read somewhere, it might have been on the Wuthering Waves wiki, that certain intro outros, if you intro from like a Havoc character to like a fire character, they are some sort of effect that you'll get for the current on-field character, whatever the case may be. So I don't think it's going to be in the sense of like Genshin, like obviously I don't think there's going to be like any elemental reactions or anything like that, but I do think it's going to be very simple intro, outro, and shields, and I don't think it's go further than that. I doubt it, but I could be wrong. I wouldn't mind an element system kind of being implemented where it makes it more important and it feels more important, but also I'm not too stressed about that. So yeah,
because I haven't played enough and fully understand the systems, but I have my eye on Danjin. Yuanwu, free character, very fun attacks, kind of like a melee unit, really cool. I just like the slams, the jams. When you start getting copies, also can ramp up, but just the base level, pretty fun. I like the attacks, looks really cool, but here's the thing. I don't know if you saw that on the ground there. See this? This turret, this AoE?
That's his
Let me
AoE,
just show you what this does, because it's pretty cool. So that's your resonance skill. You tap to summon this electro-damaging field. It just does damage based on the defenses. It's just a pillar of damage. Can throw this in with pretty much any team. Very excited. It's got a 12-second duration, 3-second cooldown.
Which is
so unless
crazy.
they change it, this guy just essentially puts down a turret for your team. I like it.
Yep.
So we'll definitely check this character out.
And you
let's
get him for free
continue on
the
to
Abyss.
some of the other
You get him
units.
for free, which is valid. You get him for free in the Abyss, which is dope as well. So again, another W.
For Jiyan,
Jiyan.
she's a monk. She's got some monkey fast attacks, pretty cool. Also
get a
has
rework.
some shielding ability. Let's see if I can kind of show it here. Are you gonna attack me? All right, you can do a counter.
Shield.
I like her. She's got some potential. The only issue is, for some reason, I'm not the biggest fan of the monk playstyle, and both of these characters are kind of monk playstyles, and is not vibing with me. It doesn't mean they're bad. It's just I personally don't really like them.
I could see that.
I think that Jiyan, for me, felt better to play and was better than Lingyang. I'll go over.
Lingyang felt horrible in the beta. Like, actually the worst fucking character to play with. So, but I believe they're going to change his hitboxes and whatnot as well. So I'm not really stressed on that. But I really don't know why he doesn't like that monk style. I think the fighting style is cool and the animations are sick. Is the fact that like his hitboxes were atrocious.
For both of them. But the pros and cons of her is fast, punchy, can shield, has some Beto feel. Overall, I think she's going to be a good unit.
Her ult is
she's
a
like
massive
a standard
sub.
character, so
She's like
you
a
get
massive
her eventually.
So
but she didn't blow me away.
Valuable as well.
Maybe I'm missing something here.
I think.
But those
I think
are just
a
my
little
initial
bit,
impressions
but it's okay.
on this
That's
character.
fine. I still love you.
As
Mtash.
for Lingyang is again a monk unit, or like a fighting unit, a punching unit, and pretty cool. Like pretty cool for sure.
He's
You got
cool,
your normal
it's just not
attacks.
that
You got your
great.
basic attacks. You can do a charge
He's not
attack,
the best.
slamming and jamming. That's not too bad. It feels fun to play overall. Now you can also do your attacks, and then you can weave in your skill, and it'll like reset your pattern, and you can do these little combo attacks, right? And it feels okay. There's no cooldown on the skill because you weave it in with these. So I'm not clicking anymore. That is like a reset on your attacks. So
Yeah. Okay.
it's kind of this like punching.
I don't like him.
reset the combos, keep punching. It just feels like I'm always doing attacks. I'm always punching, but it didn't feel like it had the impact of other characters.
valid.
It didn't
That's
feel
valid.
as powerful as other characters that I used. I don't know why.
Okay.
I don't know if it's the damage numbers. I don't know if I'm just dumb, but I didn't
No, you're
like
not
the
dumb.
playstyle.
You're beautiful.
On top of this, like this is okay.
The Forte circuit,
But see how I'm jumping on these like bongos?
The Forte circuit is. Not
I
where
find
it's
it
at.
really disorienting. Also
It's very.
find, because I'm jumping in the air and doing these things, against bosses, I get murdered!
Yep, 100%.
I do not like
without
this
a doubt.
unit. I do not want this unit. This is someone that I did not enjoy.
I will be very upset if I get him on my standard. Obviously, we're gonna have the selector, but if I do get him on the standard, I'll be a little upset. I'm not gonna lie. I literally would take anyone else but him. I'm praying I get her on the standard, like the initial 40 to 50 pulls, and I focus Calcro,
At all against bosses.
or however you pronounce his name.
So that's my only warning. I think she was pretty cool. She got some cool shielding, countering stuff. I liked her, but him, not for me. As for Jiyan, is
like
very
him.
flashy and slashy. Let's just like kind of see some of his animations. I'll go do some normal attacks.
I don't know.
Okay. Slicing, dicing, jamming
When
around.
I played with
pretty
him,
good,
it felt
right?
a little.
Okay. Now I've got some
don't
energy.
know.
Do a charge attack. Slamming.
Not my favorite.
Jamming. Right? It looks pretty
Not
fun.
my favorite.
He's got his dashing attack.
I'm not gonna
And then
lie
when
to
he
you.
gets in ultimate mode, all right, well, I just killed them with the big monkey. Let me get into ultimate mode here. Is there some more enemies? I guess I could. Is that an enemy? Okay. With the ultimate, now it's just enhanced everything.
Yeah.
Okay, you slam down, and then everything is just more. It's just cooler. All right. You've got more
it's sick.
dragon attacks.
It really
it's
looks
flashy,
crazy.
It's good. I like it.
He does big
Overall,
damage. Big damage
This character
numbers.
has good AoE, but seemingly good against bosses too. I don't know where it will be on the power scale. The only thing I don't like is I do find it so flashy that sometimes I'm like, what is the enemy doing? What am I dodging? What do I need to dodge?
Yeah.
I feel
Yeah, I
like
can see
sometimes
that.
some of the attacks are obscured because of how flashy his animations are.
He's great, and he's really mindless, like just DPS straight in, attack. But there's something about his playstyle and his kit that I was like, I just don't find this satisfying. I don't know if it's because, like, you know, I don't think it's floaty. I don't know what the word to describe it is. I just wasn't the biggest fan. So I get where he's coming from. And then the flashiness of it, like there's so many colors going around. And the dragons are, you know, they're not see-through. They're pretty much like the opacity's at 100. So you could get lost in the sauce if you're fighting a bunch of enemies. So I get that 100%.
So that's something I did want to say. So I like him, but for me, my plan is most likely to skip until the next banner
I'm rolling for Danjin
because it's got Yinlin. So number one, she looks fantastic. She looks really good. Her attacks look awesome. She's got this like yo-yo looking vibe. Great area of effect. And she has some off-field damage. She applies a mark to the enemies and just summons in electricity. But overall, kind of DPS, sub-DPS vibe, very good. On top of this, her outro skill is, as long as they don't change it, seemingly quite cracked for any Electro team. And so if I am getting this guy, she just seems like she'll be a good option in that team. And probably a good option forever. For any future Electro unit, anyone...
Increased damage by 20%, resonance liberation damage bonus increased 25%. Yeah, no, that's insane. That's if they keep this and it's not locked behind like a constellation or anything, she's chef's kiss. That's gonna be, I think, the meta combo. I think the team is gonna be those two, and then you could probably put a fill with the girl with the heels. I don't remember her name off the top of my head. Who like has the vines coming out. I'm gonna say the Nahida lookalike, and everyone's gonna yell at me. Her or probably like that official. But yeah, I think very good, very very good. Or you could use the 4-star who has like the sucking as well. Yangyang, I think their name is Yangyang. I gotta start remembering these names, but yeah.
Who's using resonance
Liberation,
very
very good,
which is everyone in the game. It's a boost. So I want to get her because she just seems like she'll be good long term, in my opinion. But the ability for her to do passive damage even when off field, very very good. Verina has had changes from the very start, from the very first things I've seen of her. She's gotten better. She has a pretty darn good outro skill, giving you this HP recovery as well as an attack boost.
Verina recovers HP to equal to 19% of her attack per second over 6 seconds. Wow. Damage dealt for all party members increased by I did not know that was her outro skill. Ooh. Okay. Oh, they're kind of cooking. Okay, they're kind of cooking with her. They're kind of cooking with her.
And the damage dealt for all party members is increased. This seems very powerful.
Very, very, very good.
She also has a very quick acting resonance skill. Yes. And it's easy, in my opinion, to just kind of swap to her, use her skills, move away, and eventually you can get some healing for the team. I think she's fine, but I'm not married to Verina and feel like I need her because the free healer that you get, Baizhi or whatever, seems really good. So if I get Verina, I'll use her. I think she'll be fine. But she's not like a priority for me or someone I'm like super excited about. Maybe I'm wrong about that. But I think just some of the other characters are more interesting.
I think she's going to be a unit that you could stick with any team. I truly believe, especially knowing that if they make the changes even more broken and they buff her based on what she has already, I think she's one of those kind of universal you could fill. Okay, who do I want to throw in here? Throw Verina in. You know, I think she's going to be a very good fill spot, and I think a lot of people are probably going to wind up focusing or re-rolling for her. In the beta, she wasn't my favorite, but knowing this information, again, obviously everything's subject to change, but knowing that they're going to buff her as well, I think this is a pretty big W.
But she's got a cool knock-up as well there. Like, not too bad. She's fine.
Also,
I don't know. I'm not vibing with her the way I am with other people. Is what it is.
Sidebar. I'm gonna try not pause as much, but the fact that some of the characters are just so cool and so sick, I get what he's saying. It's not like any of the characters are lacking, but some are just significantly, like, their animations or everything are like, oh my god, like, that is top tier. So I get that, because I feel like a part of the game is the flashiness of the characters. It's the fact that all their designs are so uniquely different, and the Forte circuits are so uniquely different. It's like, wow, that looks cool, and I want to use it, even if it might not be the best DPS or the best sub DPS or whatever option, you know. So that's valid, 100%.
Or Encore. When I did the beta, Encore was my first 5-star. And she seemed to hit really hard. The other thing that Encore can do, which is interesting, is she has some cool kind of animation things. All right, so she's got this thing, right? Not bad.
Yeah.
She got some kind of slamming stuff. If you time it, you get these bonus damage attacks. So there's a bit of a mini game while attacking. But on top of this, you can actually swap off of her in some of her animations, and she'll still do damage. So she's still on the field doing damage.
Yeah.
I think she's got potential.
I don't know if I don't think I'm gonna like her.
Would be really good
personally,
but I'm not a math guy. Maybe I'm crazy here. But Encore for me is someone. It's like if I pick her up,
I don't do math.
If I need a fusion damage dealer, she seems fine. I think the off-field stuff has value, but I'm not like, oh, I have to have this unit. Let's check out a few more of the 4 stars that I'm interested in. Okay. All right. So good news is Resonator, the main character, pretty darn good in this game.
Very good. Very good.
The passives are not official on this version, but from what I've seen, they look pretty strong. But it's a pretty good unit. If you want to build them, they will be valuable. They'll be good for your team. Now, Senua, you get copies.
I love him, Senua.
The gods will bless us. Won't they?
Copies of her, and she's just available for everyone. But getting more copies of her, she actually starts being a pretty interesting damage dealer with like crit built into her kit, as long as it stays that way. Okay. But also can increase basic attack damage. So anyone who's a basic attacking unit benefits from using her. Very good potential as like a sub DPS support. Same thing goes with Mortify. He's awesome. Heavy attack damage. So anyone who has a big heavy attack damage, someone that is I mean, everyone kind of uses them. Everyone is going to benefit from both of these characters, honestly. But, you know, Karo, he charges up his attacks, then he does this big slam. It wouldn't be bad to use them together. They're kind of universal supports from what I can see. But yeah, all 3 of these characters are pretty sweet. This guy's got these cool shooting attacks. Boom, 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 boom. He sends out this kind of attack, like a phoenix attack when you charge up. This chick, she's just slicey. She's dicey. I like her. She got the freezing stuff. Works for me.
I know her fortress
and then the
was like a mini
again,
game.
Just a very good, like, overall balanced unit. Has a pretty basic kit, but the overall stats, the overall value, the outro skill seems pretty darn good in a lot of content because the time stopping, it can be pretty helpful. Now, again, I don't know if some of these are placeholders. This is an arrow damage bonus. This is a resonant skill damage bonus. It seems like all the 4 stars have like a niche where they boost a particular type of damage. And if that stays that way, cool. Whatever damage type you're using, you could technically use these as supporting units. But you do have to enjoy their kit and their playstyles. Tachi, she is like she's supposed to be like a tanking unit.
Yeah.
You can't tank in this game. You will get one shot by bosses. So I'm not sure how effective that's going to be. Haven't played her a whole bunch.
I got her, but I didn't play her.
Slower, bigger, thicker attacks. Very, very.
I wasn't really interested in trying her too much because of the fact that her attacks were so slow. Obviously, this is a skill issue, but I felt like I would have such a hard time trying to parry or keep up with everything else in the game, with it being so fast-paced. I'm like, I don't know if this is the character for me. So yeah, I tried her for a little bit. Swapped in, looked at her stuff. I was like, I don't know. So I don't know if I would enjoy her either still. I'm trying to get Danjin though on that first banner. That's all I'm saying.
Thick attacks. I wasn't a big fan. I wasn't a big fan, but she does have a little heal built in. She might have some potential. Definitely some potential when she's stretching.
Heal thing.
This guy, Alto, very interesting attacks. I just like how flashy he is. All right, you can do this thing. You can shoot through it. It sends these like extra bullets out. Yep. You can run through it, go invisible. I don't know. I think he's pretty cool, and he will boost arrow damage. So I see the potential of using Alto with like Jiyan. Baizhi is just this like caster, passive healer. She's really good. She's got an outro skill that boosts up your healing as well as your damage. She's free. Everyone gets her off the banner. So if you do like a pull on the normal banner, the first pull you do, I don't know if it's just like the basic one. Yep. The first pull you do will be Baizhi. Oh, there it is. So it's going to be just like that. The very first pull you do will be Baizhi. So do that right when the game launches. Just do one normal pull, and you can have a healer in your team right from day one, right from minute one. That's what I'm planning on doing. As for the next two, they're both free units as well, which is nice. Yangyang is actually really good in my opinion.
Yes,
if you played the other betas, Yangyang can group enemies, has this kind of arrow damage attack. She can like summon people in. I think she's got a ton of potential. I'm a very big fan of this unit. I think that she will be just beautiful. Beautiful attacks. I love her skin. And I think she's going to be really good for your teams. Considering she's a free character, someone you throw in, sucks people up, groups them up, and then you do damage with everyone else. I think she'll be a universally solid unit. As for,
there's a lot of characters that like are coming off in the sense of like, okay, you could throw this character into X amount of teams, and there's only 19 characters so far. I believe like 18 characters. And the fact that there's so many people who feel that like, okay, this could be a universal person. This could be a universal person. And the fact that it's only 3 slots, I think it really gives you a diversity in the fact that you could really make a bunch of team comps with a million characters. Also, the fact that technically we're really getting 8 free characters. You know, you get the main 6 from playing the game, rewards, etc. You then get 40 or either 40 or 50 pulls in. You get a character from the standard, so that's your 7th. And then when you focus, eventually within 80 pulls, you will get your 8th character, and it will not take you that long to get to 80 pulls with the standard, especially with all the rewards they're giving out. So overall, like just the fact that there's so much team comp possibilities makes me very, very... It doesn't seem like it's too niche down. Like, you know, for example, okay, I can only use like Farazan with like at C6 and only in this particular team, and I can't use Farazan in any other team, you know, just a random force off the top of my head. But I like this. This makes me very happy. Very, very happy.
Jixia, she is okay. She's a very good damage dealer,
I think
but it does feel
dealers.
like you have to commit a lot of time. The reason I say that is you're going to do your attacks,
and
all right? I'll just show you this. You can do your attacks, but you can also hold this down, and it will give you more damage over time.
A lot of on-field time. A lot of on-field time.
And then you can shoot this like kind of final shot, and it does more damage. It just feels like a lot of field time.
Yep.
I think she could be a good damage dealer, but I'm not sure I want to commit all my field time to her. I would have to see the damage numbers. I'd have to see, you know, is she OP?
Probably not.
Is she amazing? I don't know yet. I think she's flashy. I think she's cool. She's a free unit. I love her ultimate, but
she's not Alto.
I just don't know about that.
Bro.
I think there's going to be other units that I build before her. 100% honest with you.
The problem with her is the fact that they have Alto in the game. And if they didn't have Alto in the game, I'd be like, "Yo, this is probably gonna be my main gun wielder." But this man Alto, his drip is crazy.
But yeah, you know? I just don't see it myself. I think someone like Yangyang is someone I'd rather focus on. Yep. So let me just give you the quick breakdown, the fastest breakdown on the units I like and I'm gonna build. Number 1, I will build Yangyang. I have no reason to believe that I won't build her and think she's gonna be good. Number 2, I will for sure build Baizhi. Unless I somehow get Verina really early, I want to build Baizhi because she seems like a good healer. She's free to play. That's cool. Okay. I want Karo. This will be my main DPS most likely because I want the electricity. And I want to pair Karo with Yinlin. Seems like a really good combo. They can pair together. They're both electro. That seems cracked. Verina, if I get her, I'm sure she'll be good as a healer. Encore, again, if I get her, I'll probably use her in certain situations where I need to use damage, but I don't love it. I probably will build the MC because they seem like they have a pretty darn good kit.
I think everyone off rip should build the MC because this is going to be guaranteed the first character you can use when you go into their roguelike mode. So if you want to go into that mode and you want to go into Endgame as soon as possible, build the MC. You will have other characters that have the potential to be used in there, but I don't know how it works. I don't know if it swaps and maybe one patch, like, you know, let's say, for example, I can't use Yangyang, but I can go in with Yangyang next month. I don't know how that works, but I know for sure during CBT2, the rover was always there, and I doubt they will remove you from being able to use the rover in the roguelike mode. So I personally think everyone should build. Just sidebar. Just throwing that out there.
And because they're an MC, I mean, it's going to be that you're going to get all these constellations and all this extra value. I don't see how they won't be a pretty good, you know, overall character.
We are going to get those cons.
Yuanwu, I think I'm probably going to build as well because I
Same.
like the passive turret damage that he provides. I'm probably going to do that. Danjin, for sure. Danjin, for sure.
Just don't nerf her into the ground, bro. Just don't nerf her into the ground. That's all I ask. That's all. You know, if you nerf her a little bit because you're like, she does too much damage. I get that. Just don't nerf her completely. Give her some wiggle room. Let her still be powerful. Let her still be like the second or third DPS. You want her to be the first, fine, but like give it some time. She's very unique. Although she is very similar to Hu Tao, her gameplay style and her kit, it's just fun. It's just fun. So
seems like a really good damage dealer.
Yeah, she's amazing.
Has a ton of potential in my opinion. If you do get copies, seems to get pretty crazy with the overall damage that is available.
Yeah.
I don't see how this isn't a cracked character. Now, Sanua is also a free character. It's going to depend on how many copies they get, but this looks like a cracked character too, like a cracked DPS. Now, apparently in the Abyss, you need 3 teams, so maybe I need all of them. Maybe I need her as a DPS, her as a DPS, you know, him as a DPS. I don't know officially what's going to happen, but I'm seeing quite a few options of the units that will mathematically, like, I don't understand how they wouldn't do some of the top damage in the game. And then, as for kind of supporting units, it's going to depend. Like, Mortify, he boosts heavy attacks, so it's like, yeah, I want to build him. But at the same time, I can also keep him low level and just use him for his outro skill part of the time as well. So I think the characters that I'll hyper invest into in the early game.
That's actually really good point. I wonder how their outro and intro skills, if it scales off of leveling, because he just cooked something right there. I haven't thought about that, where you level a character to X level so that way you can get their talents and their passives unlocked. And it's like, okay, you know, now that I have their talent and their passive unlocked, can I just not use them on field, you know, swap into them real quick, get my bar, I don't remember what the bar is called, they're really off the top of my dome, get that leveled up, swap out, and then get the passive going, and then just kind of use them like that. That's genius. That is very, very smart. I wouldn't have thought about that. Maybe because I'm just dumb, but Mtash is cooking.
Would be like Karo, Yinlin, probably like my healer, whichever healer I get, I'll probably invest and try to take up as high as you can. And honestly, I just see potential for Yangyang. I don't know why. I just see the potential for Yangyang.
No, she's great.
And then some of the other like sub DPS units or support units, like him or like Alto, I'll probably kind of partially build them just so that they can do their outro skills and boost up everyone else. That's kind of the strategy that I've got right now. And those are my overall thoughts on the characters at this moment in time. Hopefully that makes sense.
I'm excited. I think it's going to be dope. Shout out to Mtash for making this video. I don't think this video is bad in any sense Again, you know, I think people get upset with these types of things. And it's like, you know, it might negatively impact the smaller content creators. It might, man. Like, it could negatively impact me. I don't know. I just want to play the game. I want the game to be good. I want to enjoy it. I want to have fun. I'm going to make a bunch of content on it. You know, we got a bunch of videos coming out this week before the game even launches. So, with that being said, let me know what you think. And I love you. I'll see you in the next one.